सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्।
जय लंबोदर पाहि मां, जय लंबोदर पाहि मां, जय लंबोदर पाहि मां, जय लंबोदर पाहि मां, जगदम्बा सुत रक्ष मां, जगदम्बा सुत रक्ष मां, जगदम्बा सुत रक्ष मां, जगदम्बा सुत रक्ष मां, जय लंबोदर पाहि मां, जय लंबोदर पाहि मां, शरणागत रक्ष मां, शरणागत रक्ष मां, शरणागत रक्ष मां, शरणागत रक्ष मां, हे करुणानिधे पाहि मां, हे करुणानिधे पाहि मां, हे करुणानिधे पाहि मां, हे करुणानिधे पाहि मां, श्री गणनाथ संरक्ष मां, श्री गणनाथ संरक्ष मां, श्री गणनाथ संरक्ष मां, श्री गणनाथ संरक्ष मां, निज भक्ति मुदं देहि 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 मां, जय लंबोदर पाहि मां, जय लंबोदर पाहि मां, जगदम्बा सुत रक्ष मां, जगदम्बा सुत रक्ष मां, जय लंबोदर पाहि मां, जय लंबोदर पाहि मां, शरणागत रक्ष मां, शरणागत रक्ष मां, संरक्ष मां
श्रीगणनाथ संरक्ष मां
निज भक्ति मुदं देहि 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 मां जय लंबोदर पाहि मां।
मनस भजरे गुरु चरणम दुस्तर भम सागर तरणम मानस भजरे गुरु चरणम दुस्तर भव सागर तरणम भजरे गुरु चरणम दुस्तर भव सागर तरणम ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय शिवाय नमः ओम अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुण शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुण शिव Baba Omkaram, Baba Omkaram, Baba Om Namo Baba. Manasya bhajane Guru Charanam, Dustar Bhava Sagar Taranam. भजरे गुरु चरणम दुस्तर भव सागर तरणम गुरु महाराज गुरु जय जय साईनाथ सद्गुरु जय जय महाराज गुरु जय जय साईनाथ सद्गुरु जय जय मानस भजरे गुरु चरणम दुस्तर भव सागर तरणम भजरे गुरु चरणम दुस्तर भव सागर तरणम
I offer my reverential and loving pranams at the lotus feet of our beautiful Lord, Sri Sathya Sai Baba. And I offer this program at his lotus feet with our heartfelt gratitude. Sairam, dear elders, brothers, sisters, and children, a very warm welcome to all of you for this very special Avatar Declaration Day celebration at the Bethesda Sai South Bethesda Center. We are also particularly delighted today to be able to share this occasion with our brothers and sisters all over the US, Canada, and the West Indies through the SSSGC YouTube link, thanks to brothers Akshay and Balu. To all our extended zonal family, my name is Ramya Rao, and on behalf of our center, I offer a very warm welcome to each and every one of you. Just as a mother lovingly stoops to pick up a child who cannot leap into her arms on its own, Swami tells us that an avatar is divine love incarnate that takes birth as a human in order to elevate humankind to supreme consciousness. And on October 20th, 1940, the avatar of the Kali age threw off the cloak of Maya and began his mission of reforming and reconstructing us, all of humanity, through the message and the royal road of love. We are here today to celebrate his momentous advent and to express our heartfelt gratitude for the immense grace he showered on all of us in bringing us to his lotus feet. When divinity takes human birth, he brings with him blessed souls who recognize his divinity in the earliest of days, who live only for him, and who are themselves an integral part of the sweetness of the story of the Lord. Their unwavering Shraddha and Bhakti, faith and devotion, and complete surrender to the avatar contain many invaluable lessons for all of us. I'm reminded of the story of Uddhava, who was sent by Sri Krishna to Vrindavan to carry a message to his, Krishna's, earliest companions there. Uddhava was a rich, sophisticated city dweller and a friend of Krishna's, who thought his devotion was of the best kind. But when he got there, Uddhava saw that his learning was no match for the simplicity, sincerity, and depth of the gopis' love and devotion for Krishna, and learned the true meaning of devotion from them. It's a beautiful story, and we are no Uddhavas, but we are blessed today to have an incredible opportunity to enjoy the unique sweetness of the early years of the avatar of the age through the eyes of three of his earliest devotees, Mrs. Mani Bhashyam, Mrs. Sunanda Ravel, and Mrs. Geeta Mohan Ram. Mani Auntie and Sunanda Auntie are cousins, part of Sri Sheshagiri Rao's family. Starting in 1943, just 3 years after Swami declared his avatarhood, they became part of the tightly knit band of devotees who were constantly with Swami in Puttaparthi, sometimes for weeks and months together. From 1943 onwards, their lives and all significant events revolved around him, and Swami too constantly sought their company. Through their unfettered access to Swami, they all witnessed many incredible leelas and mahimas, things that we can only imagine, but more importantly, they imbibed and internalized everything he taught through those incidents. Mani Auntie was 10 years old when she was brought to Swami by her parents, Srimati Janakama and Sri Raghavachar, and she grew up in the divine presence. Musically gifted, Mani Auntie was not only one of the earliest singers in the Pata Mandiram and Prashanti Nilayam, but composed many beautiful songs and bhajans, some of which we'll get to hear today, which would be sung for Swami during Akhanda Bhajan in the 1950s and 60s. She was also blessed to compose the Vibhuti Mantra, which is sung in all Sai centers worldwide. Mani Auntie currently lives in London, Ontario, Canada, along with her son and family. Sunanda Auntie was 3 years old when she first had Swami's darshan in Karanam Subhama's house. Along with her parents, Srimati Sundarama and Sri Sitaram Sharma, 3 sisters and 1 brother, Sunanda Auntie grew up in Swami's close and constant proximity. She benefited immensely from the guidance and example of her parents, and says that she is enjoying the fruits of that today. Her marriage to Sri Ramachandra Rava was performed by Swami in 1960. Their devotion to Swami as a family was most melodiously expressed through beautiful songs, which themselves recount and record the early history of the avatar. She has 2 children and currently lives in New Hampshire with her son and his family. Geeta Mohan Ram, who is the niece of Mani Auntie and Sunanda Auntie, grew up listening to the family's stories of their experiences with Swami, and her own experiences added to the story. She is the daughter of Dr. R.S. and Mrs. Kamala Padmanabhan and has been at Swami's feet since birth. She grew up around him constantly, and at the age of 15, at his command, became a Balavikas guru and became his scribe during the development of the Balavikas program. Her marriage to Mohan Ram was performed by Swami in Vrindavan, Whitefield in 1978. And along with Mohan Ram, their sons, their daughters-in-law, and their grandchildren, they are longtime members of the South Bethesda Sai Center. Geeta and many of her experiences with Swami are, of course, very well known to audiences worldwide through her beautiful talks about Swami. So with much gratitude and joy, and not taking any further time away from this beautiful treat that awaits us, please join me in welcoming Mani Auntie, Sunanda Auntie, and Geeta to share their reminiscence and experiences with Swami. Sai Ram, and welcome, Geeta. I'll turn it over to you.
Sai Ram, Ramya. Offering my pranams at the lotus feet of our ever-present Swami, praying Mukam karoti vachalam panghum langhayate girim yatkrupa tamaham vande paramananda madhavam, praying that he will bless us to remember all the memories that we have been discussing and hoping to share with the audience. I am really honored today to be sitting with both my aunts. Before I even go any further in this talk, I really want to thank Dr. Ramya Gopinath Rao and her committee in South Bethesda, to which I belong, for really giving me this opportunity. When I was discussing with Mani Auntie and Sunanda Auntie what to say, these past couple of weeks have been filled with Namasmarana for me while we discussed and trying to fit a lifetime of devotion and experiences into this talk has helped me not only go back in time, but do constant Namasmarana for the past few weeks. So I'm really thankful to all of you, offering my virtual and distant pranams to my aunt, Mani Auntie in Canada. I really would like to start this conversation. I thought that I would go back and forth between them and ask them. I have never felt more, wanting to be older than I am now after I have been talking to them for the past few weeks. They enjoyed the 40s and 50s, early 50s with Swami much before I came on this planet. So it's been wonderful talking to them. So I'm going to start going back in time with them. And I'm going to start with Mani Auntie here first. Mani Auntie, we've been talking about this for the past few weeks and trying to pick out all of the instances. And of course, your wonderful compositions have been very difficult. But I want to start off to ask the first question to you. You know, we are celebrating Avatar Declaration Day. And as Ramya introduced all of us, literally 3 years after Swami had declared his mission to the world, you all went to Swami in 1943. So I want to ask you, can you narrate a little bit about your first early memories of this avatar that we have all had the good fortune to interact with? Sai Ram, over to Mani Auntie.
Sai Ram. Swami speak to. Sorry. My humble pranams at the lotus feet of our dear Lord, Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. Sai Ram to all of you who have gathered here to celebrate the advent of Avatar. It is such a joyous occasion to come together and sing the glory of our Swami. Thank you, Swami. It is Swami's Sankalpa looks like that all the three of us, Sunanda, Geeta, and myself, coming from the same background and the same Sai family, to be together on this occasion and sharing our experiences. Is it not Swami's divine plan? I think so, and I believe. Our families were in close proximity to Swami and had wonderful time. And we, as children, have enjoyed those rare moments very much. All of us know that on 20th October 1940, Swami declared himself to be the reincarnation of Shirdi Sai Baba. No one had heard of neither Shirdi nor Sai Baba. How can people of Parthi, a remote village in South India, know about Shirdi Sai Baba? So Swami, our Swami, had to go through a lot to prove again and again that he is the divine avatar. In Bhagavad Gita, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Krishna declared like that. Our Sai Krishna says, Yuga dharmamul vigalitamai unda nayamargamana trippi nadupu koraku lokambulella kallolamai chediyunda nishkalmashamun chesi nilupu koraku. Slowly, when Yuga Dharma started declining and deteriorating, when there was chaos and confusion among people, I decided to come to cleanse and purify the atmosphere and take all mankind to a spiritual path. Swami has taken this avatar to transform the hearts and take us back to our original source. The descent of avatar was to take mankind to ascend to the throne of divinity. It seems the divine wants to experience the yearning and the longing and the pining of the devotees as much as we do. We are so fortunate to have been born in the golden age of Sai and enjoyed that close proximity to Bhagavan. Our elders, our aunties, and Sundarama auntie, Sheshgiri Tata, all of them, they were really lucky to acknowledge the presence of divinity in the 17-year-old Swami and compose songs admiring him as the avatar. Here is a composition of Sundarama auntie. Avatar Rupuni Satya Swarupuni Avatar Rupuni Satya Swarupuni Avatar Rupuni Satya Swarupuni Shiradishwaruni Divya Padambula Smaranamu Cheyuchu Bhakti to Koli Chedu Partishwaruni Divya Padambula Smaranamu Cheyuchu Bhakti to Koli Chedu Tulasi Mala Nidigo Swami Paramatma Pavanamai Nati Tulasi Mala. Sai.
So Mani Auntie, in 1940 itself, when they saw Swami in 1943, after having realized that he has come down as an avatar, Sundarama Auntie composed this song you were saying. Sundarama Auntie, that was your mother.
Yes.
And she composed it in 1943, and we started out by singing the song about the avatar itself.
Yes, yes.
So I want to ask you, how did Sundarama Auntie, who was older than Swami actually, develop faith in a 17-year-old boy to be divine? And he was so young. How did your family come into Swami's fold? Can you please explain to us a little bit, because that is a question everybody asks. How can you believe a 17-year-old boy to be God?
Sai Ramam Satya Sai Ramam Anandamechu Tarakanamam Sai Ramam. Sai Ram, the name itself gives us very happiness to all of us. And my parents and my grandparents are all very spiritually oriented before coming to Swami. And that's why it was easy for them to see Swami as God without any doubts. And it so happened, our father's side grandparents and their only daughter Shanta and my elder sister Sucharita went to Anantapur for holidays to another grandma's house. Just for holidays they went. There they come to know that somebody telling there is in a Puttaparthi, there is one Satyam boy of 14 years or 15 years. He does a lot of miracles and he does cures a lot of diseases for people, and people are going and seeing him. And why can't we go there? They questioned themselves and they decided, and they went there to Parthi. And when they went to Parthi, they stayed in Subbamma's house.
In Karanam
Subbamma's house. And there they met Swami and they were very much convinced about that, and they fell at his feet. And some days they stayed there. And one day, my sister was playing, and my grandfather dragged her to see Swami and telling that she is our son's daughter. She is my granddaughter, Swami, she said. Swami said immediately, I know everything. There are 3 sisters, and they are going to get a baby boy now, this time. And I know everything about them, he said. And after hearing, they were all stunned. How can we know all these things? And they were enjoying for some other days there. And they came back to Bangalore. And after coming, they narrated all the story to my mother.
Who was expecting.
And mother was so curious. How can you know all these things? And she wanted to see him. And luckily, Swami made first his trip to Bangalore, to Mavali. And then these people were very eager to see him. And they went along with my father. My father was suffering from eczema all over the body. And he too went with them. And when they were all standing, gents were all standing outside the house, and ladies were inside. And my mother is a good singer. My mother and my auntie were good singers. They were also joined to that bhajan, and they were singing. And as they were singing, Swami came out of the room, out of the house, and giving darshan to all the crowd there. And he came, when he saw my father standing, he came to see my father straight away to father and said, "You are Sundarama's husband, Sharma, isn't it?" He asked her. "Yeah, yes," he told. And then, "I know you are suffering from eczema." And he materialized one banana and he gave it to him. "You eat away with the skin."
Oh, yes, we eat it with the skin.
With the skin.
Oh, wow.
And then my father took it and ate it, and they enjoyed that stay there, and they came back. After coming from there, mother was very interested in going to Parthi and seeing him. So very often she used to go there, and like that they were attracted to that place.
And your paternal grandfather who went the first time, his name was Narayana Sharma. Right?
Narayana Sharma.
And you told me when we were discussing that he had, during one of these visits,
Yes.
he started to go to Puttaparthi.
Yes, they were all going.
And he had a very amazing experience once, isn't it? In those days.
Yes.
What was that, Sivanti?
Yes, Swami used to, at those days, Swami used to take devotees to Chitravati river, a river bed. And one day, he took Narayan Sharma to Chitravati river bed, and in the river water, he showed Dashavatara.
In the water.
In the water.
Oh.
And he had that opportunity to experience that miracle, Dashavatara miracle.
The 10 avatars of
10
Vishnu.
avatars. He saw all that in river water. He was amazed to see that.
And he must have developed, made him
Yes.
develop the faith immediately.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
So they were going.
Yes.
So that was on your father's side.
Yes.
But on your mother's side, of course, your maternal grandfather is very famous and quite well known in the videos because we see in the old pictures.
Sheshgiri.
His name was Sheshgiri Rao.
Oh, yes.
So how did he come? So both, you were very fortunate, both grandparents
Yes,
went around
yes,
the
they
same
were
time. How
lucky.
did Sheshgiri Rao go?
Sheshki Rao, in the beginning, he was opposing to not to see Swami.
Oh.
And he was scolding his daughters not to go there and seeing, going after fakirs and all. He was objecting. But these people never listened. They were they started going on. And once it happened, Swami came to Bangalore, and he was also curious to see that. And he went to Chamrajpet. That time
That's
Swami
an extension in Bangalore.
Yes,
Chamrajpet.
That time Swami came to Chamrajpet, and my grandfather went there to see. And when he was standing there, Swami came out. And why are you not coming to Parthi? You come once to Parthi and experience and then talk.
Come and experience me, he
Yes.
said.
Then tell what I am and all. Why are you not coming? He said, and he went away.
Okay.
And after that, my grandfather started thinking, why can't I go once and see him and all? And then once he went there
To
Puttaparthi.
Again,
And
to
he's-
Karnam Subhama's house, I think, right?
No, at that time, that Path Mandiram was
The old mandir was
old mandir was there.
Ah.
And then while he was sitting there, and he had one unique darshan of Shiva in Swami, and with a third eye vision.
Oh.
And first he was shocked, and he was soon
He fainted.
And then Swami told other devotees there, and my mother and auntie were there. Sheshki Rao is in unconscious state. Don't leave him to come near. If he comes near me, he will go off. So please keep away from him, from me, they said. He said.
Swami said.
Swami said. And he was kept in a room for 3 days. And after that,
And he was
he came.
unconscious for
Yes,
3 days
unconscious
after
for
seeing
that.
the Shiva vision.
Shiva vision. After that, when he came out of that conscious state, he was very happy, and he never come back to Bangalore at all. He stayed away there. I saw my God there. He was telling, and he stayed there alone.
So he just went there to examine and experience him.
And
At the
as
vision
Swami
of
said,
Shiva, as Swami told him
Yes.
in Chamrajpet in Bangalore.
yes,
And he,
experience me,
yeah.
and then decide.
he really experienced something. So one grandfather experienced the Dashavatara and became a devotee.
Yes,
The other grandfather, maternal grandfather, experienced Lord Shiva.
yes.
But Sheshgiri Rao Tata, grandfather, did not come back. He decided to live there. He said, I have seen my God.
Yes, this is
And-
my place, he thought. And Swami asked him to do puja to that Prashant Mali, old mandir. For
Both in Patha Mandiram and old Prashanti Nidhi.
Yes. And he was doing puja for so many years there.
Yes, I think till he
And
passed
he passed
away
away there alone.
in Puttaparthi itself. I think in 66 or 67,
yes,
something like that, he passed away. So this was a really
Yes.
amazing beginning for
Yes, for
Sundaram
all of
auntie
us,
and
for
for all
all
of your
relatives.
families.
Yes.
And you used to start going. So I think we have a few photos of those great devotees who were able to see the Dashavatara and the Shiva in
Yes.
some pictures. I think Ramya is going to show a few of those pictures and I can say who they are,
Yes.
so that others can see who were the earliest devotees in 1943
Yes,
who
yes.
went to Parthi. So I will pass it on to Ramya to
Yes.
share her screen.
Thank you, Geeta. Here it is. Can you see my screen?
Yes,
Okay. So,
yes. This is Narayana Sharma and
And,
Savitramma,
Swami.
who were the people who were the first devotees who went from Anantapur, and he had the Dashavatara experience. This Savitramma, I also want to say, a lot of people have heard my talks before. She was actually my maternal grandmother's cousin also. She was married to her paternal grandfather. And this is the lady who experienced the vibhuti coming out of the telephone when I was a kid. That was my first experience of the amazing power of omnipresence and omnipotence of Swami through her. She was my maternal grandmother's cousin. So that is Sri Narayana Sharma and Savitramma. The next picture, Ramya. This is Sri Sheshagiri Rao, her maternal grandfather, who stayed back, who had the vision of Lord Shiva and continued to stay in Prashanti Nilayam till he passed away. And we have a picture of the Satya Sai Speaks, where Swami has given a talk. Satya Sai Speaks 1, I think it was. And my husband actually suddenly found this particular description that Swami gave on the banks of Chitravarti river of Sri Sheshagiri Rao, where Swami very funnily describes how Sri Sheshagiri Rao never wanted to come. He scolded his children. But I told him to come and experience me. And once he came, he would never leave me again and stayed back with me. That is a small script of the talk that Swami gave on the banks of the Chitravarti river. This is Sundarama auntie, that is Sunanda auntie, my aunt here, her mother and her father. This is at their Shashti Purti of my Sundarama auntie's husband, Sri Sharma. This is Sunanda auntie's parents and other family members. You see a picture which is in black and white of the marriage of my auntie, Sunanda auntie. I'm so thrilled. She's one of my favorite aunts. She was married to my father's brother. So you see that her marriage was performed in 1960 in Prashanti Nilayam, and that is her older sister Sucharita, and her husband Chandrasekhar in the black and white picture to the right. And you see her siblings in the top picture, her sister Dwarka, Nalini, Sucharita, and then Nalini and the lower one. So these are her family members, her siblings, and her own marriage picture. And that picture is taken outside the interview room of Prashanti Nilayam, actually, the old Prashanti Nilayam bungalow. This is one of both her siblings. Now, this is Prasad, whom Swami predicted when Sundarama auntie was expecting that the boy would be born after 3 daughters. You bring him to me and I will name him Sai Prasad. So this is Sai Prasad, and then the youngest sibling of Sunanda auntie, Dwaraka, whom Swami has named her as Dwaraka as well. So these are the siblings. But Sai Prasad, I must say, in a very indirect fashion, brought our whole family to Swami, and he was the first child in our family to be named. Many children over the years have been named by Swami, but he was the first child in our family to have been named by Swami as Sai Prasad. This is Janakama auntie and Raghavachar, my Mani auntie's parents. Wonderful people. Janakama auntie's voice, Swami used to call as bell metal. Her voice was so pure and wonderful. These are Mani auntie's parents. And actually, I must remember her by saying she was also my fun aunt. When all the other aunts were very serious around Swami, she was the one who encouraged us youngsters to have a little fun too. So that is Janakama auntie and Raghavachar, Mani auntie's parents. And this is, of course, Mani auntie, her husband, Mr. Bhashyam, and her 2 children, Prasad and Geeta Lata.
oh, sorry.
This is Mr. Krishna Swami and Subhadra, that is Sri Sheshagiri Rao, who became the temple priest, his son and daughter-in-law. And the other two aunts, Mrs. Lalita and Mrs. Sushila, they were also Sunanda auntie's aunts from her father's side, father's sister and father's brother, sister-in-law. So these are all just family members who all came to Swami in the 1940s because of the two incidents and the several incidents that occurred at that time in the form of the Dashavatara vision and the Shiva vision on both sides. This is my father's elder brother and sister-in-law who also came to Swami at the time. These were all the close-knit family who used to go to Puttaparthi in those days of the 40s. So that is my uncle Srinivas Murthy and my aunt Tara, and that is my family, my parents, my brother, and myself over there. This is my father's sister, Sunanda. She's also Sunanda and her husband Shivamurthy, and my father's eldest sister, Leelamma. All of them were the first families who went to Swami in the early 40s. So those were the early years. So now I will move on actually and ask Sunanda auntie how their Pathamandiram days were. You know, Sunanda auntie, I feel very bad that I was not born at that time. So you have to tell us, how were the Pathamandiram days? And I think Sundarama auntie also used to sing at that time.
Yes,
so
yes.
How was the Pathamandiram days? Can you describe a little bit about the Pathamandiram days? You said you would sing Anandame, you know that song.
Yes.
Yes.
Mother used to compose Swami songs on Swami and his divinity, is about his miracles. So many songs she used to compose. And once he composed one song in dream also, you know.
Oh, we will sing that later.
And bhajans were, in old mandir, bhajans were there.
Okay.
And mother used to play harmonium with two hands.
But in the bhajans were not like what we sing now, right? Not
Yes,
four lines. She
not-
used to sing songs.
Songs.
I think she has composed about a bhajan itself, right? That
Yes.
Anandam.
Yeah, that bhajan song is very nice. Anandame bhajana, Brahmanandame Swami bhajana, Anandame bhajana, Uru kondalona unna, Udyanavanamulola, Uru kondalona unna, Udyanavanamulola, Rati bandalona, Rati bandalona, Udbhavinchina Swami bhajana, Anandame bhajana.
I'll just explain this. It's a beautiful bhajan. You see, they all recorded all the mahimas of those years in songs. There was no Satyam Shivam Sundaram. Sri Kasturi had not yet come. So all that they experienced, because Sundarama auntie, Janakama, many of them were good composers, and many of the devotees who came, they used to, whenever they experienced one of those beautiful Mahima years, they would put it into a song format and sing it in front of Swami. The song that she just sang is about bhajana itself. How beautiful and how much happiness this Sai bhajana gives us. This Sai who sat in the Udyanavanam or in the garden on a rock and declared himself to be the Sai avatar in Uruvakonda. That Sai in that rock who showed us the Shirdi Sai avatar, how beautiful it is to sing that praise of that Sai who has given us this bhajan. That is what, and we started out this program with Swami singing Manasa Bhajare. So this kind of refers to that, his declaration, singing at that stone, singing on that stone. And I believe the devotees who sat around Swami in those days would see Shirdi Baba in that stone. So that was the explanation of that song that she just sang. That was beautiful, Sunanda auntie. Thank you. I'm going to actually ask Mani auntie now. Mani auntie, I know you are a wonderful singer, and even now you do so many music classes and everything also. But you came to Swami as a young child of 10. And I think Swami recognized that talent in you. Can you tell us a little bit how you came to Swami at 10 and how your parents heard about Swami?
Saira. In year 1946, Swami used to visit Bangalore several times. He had come to one of our friends' place, and we came to know that Swami was coming, but we didn't know anything about Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba, nothing. But simply out of curiosity, my parents took me there, and my cousin was also there. We all went to see Swami. Swami came and then sat down. In those days, Swami would not given divine discourses were not there. Only he would speak to any devotee personally. So on that day when he came, he sat down and then he just saw all the devotees were there. About 25-30 people were there. And he asked, is there anyone who can sing songs? So myself and my cousin were learning music at that time. So we said we can sing, Swami. We lifted our hands. Swami said, okay, go ahead. So he is Nada Swarupa, he is Nada Lola. So actually through music only we could enter. He could enter into our hearts. I'll sing that song which I sang before Swami, the first few lines. Tallanisadhiru kandya talumanave. Tallanisadhiru kandya talumanave. Ellaranu salahuvanu idake samshaya beda. Tallanisadhiru kandya ತಾಳುಮನವೇ ಬೆಟ್ಟದ ತುದಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಿರುವ ವೃಕ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಕಟ್ಟೆಯನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟಿ ನೀರೆರೆದರ್ಯಾರೋ ಹುಟ್ಟಿಸಿದ ಸ್ವಾಮಿತ ಹೊಣೆಗಾರನಾದ ಮೇಲೆ ಗಟ್ಟಿಯಾಗಿ ರಕ್ಷಿಪನು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಶಯ ಬೇಡ ತಲ್ಲಣಿಸದಿರು ಕಂಡ್ಯ ತಾಳುಮನವೇ. I'll just tell the meaning.
Please.
Sometimes we agitate ourselves so much about things which we cannot control, but the mind goes on getting worked up. Swami is saying here, don't get agitated about small things. The creator of this universe, when he is there, why should we worry? Who is watering the plant at the top of the hillock? Or who has given that beautiful multicolor to that peacock, or the green color to the parrot? So he is the creator, he is the one who will sustain us also. So have that faith in me. That's the gist of the song. Swami appreciated this song and he was very happy, and he said, immediately he called us, Bengaluru Ammailu, Puttaparthi Grandi, come to Puttaparthi, he said, and he called Bengaluru Ammailu. So that is how we got introduced to Swami, and at the same time, of course, part of Sheshgiri Tata's family also. And since then, we never looked back. We always participated in all the bhajans, and we were lucky enough to be close to Swami in those days. Saira.
Thank you, Mani Aunty. That was beautiful. So I think Swami when you were 10 at that time, is it not? You were 10 years old. Yes. So he must have realized that here is a person who will, in the future, be inspired to create a mantra that the whole world will chant after every bhajan. He must have known at that time, being omnipresent and omniscient. So from there, I'm going to move on to something that's very close to my heart, because I grew up with Sundarama Aunty and Janakama Aunty and Sunanda Aunty, all of us, when we were children, telling us about your beautiful trips to the Chitravati river, especially on moonlit nights, and Swami's wonderful way of giving you all discourses through songs also. So this particular incident, I kind of grew up, but I would really like Sunanda Aunty to tell me that a particular experience you all had when you all went near the Kalpa Vriksha and Swami showed you, and I think your mother also composed one song after seeing that great Mahima. Can you please share with all the people who are listening to hear about it?
Yes, those days Swami used to take us to Chitravati riverbed very often, and we used to spend a lot of time with him there. And once it happened, and he took us all there and made us sit there on the riverbed, and he went up to that Kalparuksha hill, and from there he started, look here, he said. And we all looked there, where is Swami? We are all looking, and bright light was seen there.
On the hillock?
On the hillock, near Kalparuksha. Bright light was there, and it was going round and round and round.
In circles.
And in the center of that this thing, one Jyoti was there. Lamp with flame. And in that center, in that flame center, Swami's face was visible.
Oh, wow.
And everybody was, Swami, we are seeing. And some people said, no, Swami, we are not able to see, we are not able. Yes, now you see, he shouted again.
Oh.
And again he showed the vision there. And everybody saw it. And we were all thrilled. And after that, my mother realized that this thing, and she composed one song.
But you must have all been flabbergasted, right? There was Swami, there is a huge circle.
Yes.
I think even Mani Auntie, were you there, Mani Auntie, when that
No,
happened?
no, I was not.
You were not there. But you also, and some people could not see, but Swami was patient enough to show.
Yes.
So they must
Again,
have had the prapti or the previous janmas, good karmas.
Yes.
And then when you came back, what happened? So,
and then she
composed.
composed that song. That that is Chakrakaramuga Velaginadi Jyoti Chakrakaramuga Velaginadi Jyoti Param Jyoti Rupodo Patishwarudo Jyoti Swarupa.
Oh, that's so beautiful. It's a very long song. I know
Yes,
she was
yes.
just talking about the chakra.
Few lines I said.
Few lines. So he was in the form of a chakra, a
Yes,
wheel,
chakra,
like a
wheel,
Vishnu's wheel.
Yes.
And in that there was a flame.
Yes.
So
in
you
that
Jyoti or
face
flame
was
was there, and in the flame was Swami.
there.
How beautiful, Sarana Auntie. You were able to see it. So this
Yes,
was there in 47
yes.
or 48, you
Yes,
said.
yes.
Wow. We have read it, of course. I have also read it in Satyam Shulam Sundaram. I think Kasturi Garu asked all of you and
Yes.
then made a note of that
Yes.
particular amazing incident. I know, Mani Auntie, you may have not been on this, but you were there on another occasion on this Chitravati trip. Will you please tell us about that?
Yeah, sure. As usual, whenever we visited Parthi, we used to stay there for 10 days, 15 days, like that during vacation, school vacation. But on these occasions, we were looking forward to see that Swami takes us to the Chitravati river bank or to Kalpavriksha on the hillock. So we were just looking forward. So in the evening at 4 o'clock, some announcement would come. Oh, be all ready. All of you be ready. Swami is going to take you to Chitravati riverbed. So that was the occasion when we used to jump with joy. And as children, Swami would lead the whole group. Swami would go there, and then he would ask one of the devotees to choose a place where he should sit, because in those days, still people doubted.
Oh,
thinking that Swami hides things below the sand and goes and then takes it out. That was the false belief which they all had. So to prove that it's wrong, Swami would ask a devotee, come, where should I sit? So the devotee would show a place and then Swami would sit there. And so as usual, the bhajans at the beginning, and followed by short stories about Radha, Krishna, or Shirdi Sai Baba. And the stories would go on. Swami would narrate the stories. And then the last part of this whole thing was, we were eagerly looking. Swami would put his hand down into the sands and bring out many things he has materialized. But when I saw when Krishna, the Lord Krishna's idol came, and then Mysore Pak,
Oh,
people wanted some sweet. So Swami said, okay, I'll give you. So he took out hot, fresh Mysore Pak, not a sand green sticking to it. Imagine how much it was for all of us to taste that Mysore Pak. And each one of us got a small piece of it. So that's how we enjoyed. And the song, of course, Sunanda will sing.
but you were also saying that in the Kalpa Vruksha, he used to take out different types of fruits from the same tree, right? You remember you told me that?
That another occasion, when we went to Parthi, Swami took us, Swami said that he would take us to the hillock and the Kalpa Vruksha. We all got ready. Those days, that hillock, that was not at all. It was a wild place where, the tamarind trees stood there on the top of the hillock. There was no particular path or anything like that. We had to find our own way. So elders and children, all of us were able to find out some kind of path to reach the top. Swami would, in 5 minutes, Swami would be on the top of the hill, and then he would wave his hand. All of us would follow there and then sit there. My first experience was when we went there, Swami, there is a cave on the top of the hill. Swami went inside the temple, in the cave. He said, see what I'm going to do now? So he went inside. So we were all looking at the entrance of the cave, thinking that Swami would come out at the same entrance. But Swami, it took 10 minutes, 15 minutes. He did not come out. We all got panicky. Where is Swami? Where is Swami? Suddenly, with a thud on the floor, he just stood behind me. And I think I lost one beat of my heart, I think. Anyway, all of us were very thrilled to see that miracle. And then Swami asked us to sit near the Kalpa Vruksha tree. And then went on. Some Bodhana was also given. Some Tattva Bodhana was also given to all of us. And later,
a short discourse, right? Like a short discourse.
A short discourse was given. And the sun was almost ready to set then. We had to go back to the mandir. So he asked all of us, what do you want from the Kalpa Vruksha? Such silly people we are. Somebody asked, Swami, an apple. Swami, one banana. Swami, one sweet, laddu. Such things, trivial things. Swami, devotees asked. When he is ready to give the moksha, mohakshaya, he has come to do that. But we are so materialistic, and we were still in a very ajnana, ignorance. So we asked these things, and Swami said, okay, I'll take out. So he plucked 4 fruits from the Kalpa Vruksha tree. And then he asked to his own handkerchief. He put all the 4 fruits and bundled it up. And he took the bundle, and then he was searching to whom should he give. So he was looking at everybody, and I was sitting in the front row. My cousin was also sitting beside me. And as if the bundle, he was going to keep it in her lap, and then suddenly he took it and then gave it to me. Nuvo tiskora mandiranki, bring it to the mandir. With their Sheshkir Rao will cut it into pieces, and then everybody can share it. And so I was very lucky to take that bundle which was created by Swami's materialization, and I took it to mandir, and then we had very good. The taste of it was very, very unique. That's all I can say.
So, Mani Aunty, I know now You had the taste of the beautiful, the sweet, the delicious sweet that Swami created, Mysore Pak, and also the different fruits from one tamarind tree. And I have heard Sunanda auntie and Sundarama auntie sing this song, and I have requested Sunanda auntie sing that Namasmarana song where the laddu and the Mysore Pak and all the Mahimas have been there. She's going to sing that, and I think everybody will recognize it by the names Laddu, Mysore Pak, petrol, and such things. We have all read the Satyam Shivam Sundara.
Yeah.
Auntie.
Namasmarananandamu Satya Sai Baba Komalanga Kamitartha Ramana Sharanu Mannulo na venna vanti tanavi laddu Tinanu bhaktula manasuranjilaganu chese Dasa janulaku Mysore Paku ఆషాదీరా ఇసుక ఏటిలో ఇచ్చినావే వేషాదారి మోటార్లో నా పెట్రోల్ లేక నీరు పోసి దారి నడిపిన శౌరి నీవే గౌరీ రమణ Namasmarananandamu Satya Sai Baba.
So it's beautiful. This Sai who gives us Ananda by just repeating his name, he not only gives us moksha, as Mani auntie says, but he also fulfilled our worldly desires like eating the Mysore Pak for people who wanted, and fruits and so on. But the one incident which she sings in this song is also, which we have all read, is how Swami poured water into the car of Mr. Tirumala Rao and turned it into petrol so that they could travel from Puttaparthi to Bangalore. And I must say, I'm very proud to say, in this Mahima thing, at that time, my brother was the person who brought the water apparently from the trunk of the car to help Swami pour it in there. So that is also included in this song. Thank you so much, Renati. That was beautiful. The Mysore Pak song, as we used to call it when we were children. But from there, actually, Mani auntie, I wanted to ask you, you were telling me that the festivals in the early 40s, when the Pathimandiram, and then later on, of course, when Prashanti Nilayam is constructed, first in Pathimandiram, the early festivals were started, like Dasara and Pada Puja and other things, and you were all able to participate in that. So you said that you would share a few memories of those early festivals. Now, there are so many festivals in Puttaparthi, but it started with some of the first few there, like Shivaratri, Navaratri, and so on. Can you share a few memories of that, please?
Mostly, the festivals which were celebrated in Parthi in earlier days was Swami's birthday, November 23rd, and Dasara and Shivaratri. These are the three main festivals, not all. So, but our elders, Sundarama auntie, has documented in a song how Dasara festival used to take place. You know, in those days, as you said, there were no books, no Sanatana Sarthi, nothing. So it was such a great gift of Sundarama auntie to have composed a song in which all the details about Dasara is being explained here. I would like to sing.
Yeah, please sing the whole thing, all of the thing. What was the important stanzas, even if not the whole, whatever you think was the most important of those days.
Paramanandam Baba Dasaranandam Baba Gadachina Dasaranandam Gadachina Dasaranandam Kannula Panduga Chinanandam Bhaktula Mahadanandam గడచిన దసరానందం నిత్యోత్సవముల పూజానందం చూచుటకే ఆనందం కుంకుమ అర్చన గంధర్పంచామృతముల అభిషేకములానందం వాద్యములే ఘంట సునాదముల్ సాయినాథునిపై భక్తుల భజనల గీతం గడచిన దసరానందం ఆ మహోత్సవమున అన్న వస్త్రంబుల దానములానందం భక్తుల జన్మ సాఫల్యమయే ఆశ్చర్యం బది పరమాశ్చర్యం బాబా మహిమానందం గడచిన దసరానందం నవవిధ వాహనములపై మెరిసే ఉత్సవములానందం విజయదశమి దిగ్విజయమునకై కోదండదారివయ్యే సాయిషుడే రాజాదిరాజుడే సత్యసాయిషుడు అంబులు విడచిన నందం గడచిన దసరానందం గడచిన దసరానందం మంగళమే. So this was the song. Auntie has in detail she has explained Kunkumarchana, Gandha Pushpa and Abhishekam, and then all these things were they started at that time. And Anna Vastrambula, Narayan Seva, and on the 10th day of Vijayadashmi, Swami would sit on the whole Dasara Navavidha Vahanamulapai Verisi. 9 kinds of decorated palanquins were made, and Swami used to sit in there and then go around in procession. And that was a beautiful experience we all had. And in the last, you have seen the photographs of that bow and arrow with Swami having that. It is on that Vijayadashmi day, he would throw the arrow, and then, just to symbolizing that evil should be completely destroyed and the good should be encouraged and nourished. That's the meaning what Swami was trying to tell us through that action of Swami. Saira.
Thank you. That was a beautiful song. Thank you for singing the whole song. And I know that Sundarama auntie, she used to play the harmonium. I know that. What was the kind of instruments? Because now in a bhajan, we have so many instruments, but I don't know if in the Path Mandiram days, all these instruments, in fact, I know there was probably no microphones either.
Yes.
So can you describe a little bit about that, how she used to play the harmonium and how were the bhajans that she used to? And I know that there was a very special bond between her harmonium and Swami at that time.
Yes.
Can you please tell us that?
At that time, only tabla was there, not too many instruments, and only harmonium and tabla was there. And mother used to play harmonium always and sing songs, and Swami used to give reply with through messages through songs only. And everybody was enjoying the songs only. Now no Namaval is nothing at that time. And mother used to have the knack of playing harmonium with both the hands.
Like a piano.
Like a piano. And Swami used to sit in with her and blow that bellows that harmonium.
Oh, he used to push the bellows, so
Yes.
she could play with 2 hands.
Yes.
Oh,
And
wow.
mother used to play this thing harmonium and sing song. And Swami used to call her sometimes. Call her Brahmagnani Sundarama.
He used to call Sundarama auntie Brahmagnani because of all the questions she was probably asking.
She was composing so many songs on him, no? And Mother has composed a song on that also.
Oh,
That is Sai Baba Brahmagnani Avatara Purushude Sai Sai Baba Brahma Jnani Avatara Purushude Sai Sai Baba Bhajana Parama Pavana Me Sai Baba Bhajana Parama Pavana Me Trilokamurti Sri Sai Shude Sai Baba Brahma Jnani Avatara Purushude Sai. Swami used to enjoy so much listening to those Amma songs.
I know. So he called her Brahmagyani, but she said, you are the Brahmagyani, and composed on that. But you know, that is so nice, you know, that relationship of
Yes.
a Bhakta with the Bhagavanta. What a nice
That closeness.
only through Namasmarana,
Heart to heart.
heart to heart connection that Swami says between you and me.
Yes.
It is the heart to heart connection. You don't need the other paraphernalia.
Yes.
So I know at this particular time, you were not yet married to my uncle Ramachandra, my Chikappa, but something miraculous happened in the Pathamandiram, which I'm sure you all heard obviously about it.
Yes.
I know Mani auntie told me she happened to be there. I know my father used to describe it. This was his younger brother.
Yes.
Can you tell us what, after you married him, what he told you about that?
Is I was small at that time. I didn't know anything about that operation and all. But when I married him, and after he told me, once it happened, Swami came to Bangalore, and he went to see Swami there. And when he was standing there, Swami came out of the house and come straight to him and pointing at his on his stomach. Are you having this pain here? I know, he said.
Oh, he said you are having pain in the stomach.
Yes.
To him. Okay.
And he was shocked. How can he know? I had not told anybody about that stomach pain. How can he come to know this? He was surprised. And then he said, Swami said, you come to Parthi, I'll take care of that. I know. He said.
How old was he maybe?
13, 14 years.
He was a 14-year-old boy. Okay.
And then after Sundays, he went to Parthi with his father and brother and all. And while he was sitting in the bhajan, Swami came and tapped him and come, he said. So he followed Swami, and he was a little bit nervous what he's going to do. And he said he took him to stay to his room, Swami's room.
Oh, in Pathamandiram, which was in the back.
And he took him and made him sleep on his cot only.
Swami's cot.
And said, don't worry, don't be afraid. I'll do operation here, I said. And he materialized vibhuti and applied on the spot.
Okay.
And it became numb.
Oh, the spot became numb.
Numb.
So that was the anesthesia.
Yeah, yes. And then he materialized one trishul like the instrument, which was glittering.
Oh.
And he took and he cut it open on that spot. And he removed this thing and full of blood and all in that basin. Swami already kept that basin and cotton and everything there.
So he was able to see all this there.
Yes.
Oh, so he was conscious, but only the area was numb.
Yes.
Okay.
And then he did his this thing, and again he materialized vibhuti and applied on that cut spot. And it did like a stitches like that.
Oh.
And he covered it. And then he came out, and by the time people were all surrounded by that place. And Swami told somebody to arrange a cot there and made him sleep there. So in that corridor, he was asked him to take rest there for one day.
Okay.
And after that, he was moving again.
So this was a hernia surgery, right?
Hernia.
So I'm sure
First hernia operation
that Swami did with a trishul.
With a trishul.
So I'm sure there are many doctors in this audience who go for medical seva to Prashanti Nilayam, to other parts of the world, and also serve in Prashanti Nilayam in the super specialty hospital. I know our own Ramya does, Dr. Veda Vishwanathan, and all these people go. So for your information, for all the doctors, the first surgery in the Pathimandiram with Vibhuti as anesthesia and Swami as the surgeon was performed on my uncle, Dr. Ramachandran. He became a dental surgeon later on in his life, and he married Sunanda auntie here. So this was the first surgery, and I think it is recorded by Sri Kasturi in the Satyam Shivam Sundaram also. So such wonderful early years. So for my family, the early years consists of the Pathamandiram. For many devotees now, the early years is Prashanti Nilayam, but Pathamandiram was earlier. So maybe we can show a few pictures of the early years. Right now, actually, right after the Avatar Declaration Day, Radio Sai Media Center has put up a very beautiful program on the Pathamandiram, but I have a few pictures, old pictures that I had with me, which I would like to share if Ramya would like to show the early years of the Avatar.
Sure. Can you see?
Yes. Oh, Sunanda auntie, this is the Tulasi, that mandap where, right? Where Swami used to stand near the Pathamandiram.
Yes.
And he used to take Aarti there, you were telling me.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And
Mother used to sing a song for that Aarti. And Swami, wherever he was there, at the end of the song, he used to run and come and stand.
Do you remember that song by any chance? Or if you don't remember, that's okay.
Mani, I think Mani is singing that song.
Mani auntie, do you by any chance remember that song?
Rara Rayani Pilichiteno? No.
Baba Rava.
Baba Rava.
Baba Rava. Rama Rava. Baba Rava. Ratandri Rava. Nam Rava. Sorry.
That's okay. I know I surprised you with that. That happened because we were just talking about it before we came on this program.
Yeah.
And he was telling me that wherever Swami was, he used to come running and stand near this Tulasi when Sundarama auntie used to sing that. Thank you, but that was beautiful. I just wanted a flavor of it. Can we go to the next one, Ramya? Oh, okay. You will see on the left hand, Ramya has very nicely Sheshgiri Rao. I really want to thank Ramya because I am not computer savvy and she has really taken the trouble to put together these pictures for me. Ramya, thank you very much. You can see that Sheshgiri Tata there. And in the bottom, you will see Sharadamma. That was Sundarama auntie's younger sister.
Center.
In the middle, yes. And the right side lady is Srimati Nagamanamma Purnaya. Swami used to stay in their home many times when he came to Bangalore. And on the left side, as Sunanda auntie tells me, is Mrs. Chandran from Chennai. So that is one of the earlier photos from the early years.
And Krishna, Swami's close assistant.
Krishna, Swami's close associate on the this one, right? Next to Tata. Right, next to Tata, next to my grandfather. And then next one, Ramya. This picture is very famous actually. Right now, when you all showed the declaration video, this picture of Swami with the garland came up. This is actually a picture at my father's house, I believe, in 1949 when Swami came to Bangalore and he came to my parents' home for the first time. You will see my uncle to Swami's right and my parents to Swami's left there. And then the next picture is one of the Pathamandiram days where Swami used to stand near the Pathamandiram window. That is the picture which I was on. This is my grandfather. After Prashanti Nilayamu was built, we are all very familiar with Shirdi Baba and Swami's photo there. And you see my grandfather who became kind of the official priest. He was not by profession a priest, but Swami made him into the priest. And Swami also used to help him sometimes with the decorating of that altar. So you will see Sheshgiri Tata, Sheshgiri Rao and Swami there and Swami's picture and Shirdi Baba. There is a very nice incident when this paintings, those are paintings actually of Shirdi Baba and Swami. And when this was brought by the artist, my brother happened to be there, my brother Prithvi, who is unfortunately no more. But you can see the turban, if one calls it that, on Shirdi Baba's head. That knot that is there at the back, I believe the painter had painted it to the right. And when it was brought to Swami, my brother, and they were all looking at the painting, and Swami said, this is not how Shirdi Baba used to tie it. The knot used to be a little to the right shoulder of Baba. And the painter said, I can't do anything about it now because it is a painting. And of course, nowadays we can Photoshop it, but those were the painting days of the 50s. So Swami just put his hand on the knot and moved it to the left and just moved the painting, the knot, to the right of Shirdi Baba's shoulder, I believe. This story my brother was very fond of telling. So that is this picture. And was there another one? Yes, this is a picture of Sunanda Auntie's wedding at Prashanti Nilayam with my uncle standing right next to Swami's right. And 2 days before the wedding, Sunanda Auntie's older sister Sucharita, her wedding had also happened, and her husband Chandrasekhar is there. So this picture is taken right outside Swami's interview room. You can see the door there behind them where Swami enters the Prashanti Mandir hall. That is the door. This picture was taken. I love this picture because you can see me there, my father carrying me, a 3-year-old child or a 4-year-old child. That is me. And of course, all the family members, I won't go into it, but all the family members are there in that picture. And many of them, unfortunately, no more. This is a very nice picture of Sri Raghvachar Mani Auntie's dad and my father to Swami's right, bringing Swami to the wedding of Sunanda Auntie and Ramachandra, her husband. Ramachandra was my father's younger brother, the one who had the hernia surgery. They are bringing Swami to the wedding. That is a picture of Sai Gita. Of course, all of you recognize it. It was taken by my brother in a small little box camera when Sai Gita was given to Swami. So that is one of our favorite pictures because he took it and Sai Gita was a baby elephant that came when we were all young. And this is an interesting picture. I'm also there, but not seen in this photograph. This is Swami coming to Bangalore in my father's car. I do not remember the person in the blue shirt, not a family member, but somebody who traveled with us. I was there, my father was there, and my mother was there too. This was a picture taken when we stopped the car to give Swami some coffee. And so this is on the roadside from Puttaparthi to Bangalore, driving to my parents' home. That's my dad in my parents' home, and my parents in their younger days, all taken in my parents' home. These are the early years of the 40s and the 50s. Swami is just generally sitting and chatting with everybody, and we are listening. And this is actually a picture of my parents taken in my father's clinic. My father actually cleaned Swami's teeth in his clinic, and Swami had jokingly paid my father 500 rupees, which note my father carried all through his life in his wallet. That's a picture. They are laughing because Swami is teasing him and saying, did I pay you enough? That's what my father used to say. And we will move on to our favorite family legacy of the Akhanda Bhajan. And I'm going to ask Mani Auntie this because she was the one who was narrating to me very, animatedly how the whole planning of the Akhanda Bhajan took place. And then Sunanda Auntie will tell some parts of the story too. So Mani Auntie, may I please request you?
Yeah. I have to take the audience right to the 1946, year 1946, when India was not had not attained independence. So before that, what happened was our aunties and our mothers, they used to visit Parthi often and participating in the bhajans morning and evening. And they really liked those bhajans. And then when they came back, they were missing those bhajans. So one of the aunties, Jaidevi auntie, she suggested that why not we have bhajans in our house on Thursdays by turns. So usually there were 6 families and then 2 more joined. So we were 8 families together and performing every Thursday bhajan. And children used to go to school in the evening, it was quite late for them. So what they used to do was they would carry their bags along with them, and then they would go to the places where the bhajans were used to take place. And gents used to come from office directly to that place. So the family bhajans, family should come together to do bhajan, is one of the 9 code of conduct rules. So that started even at the earliest stage. So already we were doing the family gatherings and then do the bhajans. And then what happened was, after performing these bhajans for 1 full year, Jaidevi auntie, the thought occurred to her saying that, why not we celebrate the anniversary of this bhajans by doing 24 hours non-stop bhajan. Her idea was about Akhanda bhajan. So this was a very, very noble idea. So all our parents agreed. And then we had to take blessings from Swami, So Sundarama auntie and Tata, Sheshgiri Tata, both of them went to Parthi to take his blessings. We were planning actually on a very small scale. What was Akhand Bhajan? In our own places, we will do that. That was the initial plan. But when they went there, they wanted to have permission from Swami and blessings from Swami. So then when the Swami was so happy to listen, to hear that they are going to perform this Akhanda Bhajana for 24 hours non-stop, he said, I am also coming. Sundarama said, Swami, if you come, hundreds of people, the devotees will follow you, Swami, we can't manage. So they said, Yemappa idi, na bhajana chestunnaru, you are doing my bhajana and you don't want me to come? Look at it. And the people who were around him, he was telling them. Then it was Ankama, one of the owners of the Chowdhury, and Venkatappa, florist from Bangalore, and IGP police, Ranjot Singh. They were all present there in that interview room. So they were surprised to see why Sundarama auntie is saying no to Swami. Everybody invites Swami to our functions. But why Sundarama is saying? It's only because, we had a concern about that. Because in 1956, rationing period was there. People, 40s. It is British government, So we were given, each family was given a certain proportion of food grains. So we had to store them and then use it for the whole month. Oh. She was scared where, if people come, we had to feed them. How can we do that? So that was her concern. That's why she said to Swami, Swami, please don't come. But when Swami is there, everything will become 10-fold, 100-fold, 1,000-fold. So that Ankama, the owner of the Chowdhury, said, why are you worrying about the space? I can give you the accommodation for you to conduct the bhajan. My Chowdhury is just in Magadi Road. You can take it free. So the accommodation problem was solved. Second, florists said they were also devotees of Swami, great devotees, Venkatappa Naidu. And they came forward saying that, Amma, don't worry, we will decorate the whole place for Swami to come and have to do the Akhand Bhajan. Then we had no transport in those days. We did not have any car or anything like that. So IGP police Ranjot Singh said, I can give my jeep to you to transfer people from here, from the city to Magadi Road. So all problems were solved, and Sundarama auntie and Sheshgiri Tata came to Bangalore. So the preparations for the Akhand Bhajans were planned, how to do the bhajan, how to manage everything. So with our little resources, very limited resources, we could pool our money and the food grains, and then we were planning to have that. And at that time, that noble soul, Jaidevi auntie, she came up with an idea, such a great idea, I tell you. So that we have to have a mud diya for lighting the lamp, and then we should have a thick wick which can last for 24 hours. So she took it as a vow to make the 365 strands of wick for the diya. It represented all the 365 days of the year. So we had done 1 year full bhajans. So that was symbolic of her, the meaning of that 365 strands of wicks. And then it was made it into a big, thick wick. And then she put that in a mud diya, and then it was filled with ghee, and we put that ready for Swami to light the lamp. That is how the Akhanda Bhajan had to start. And this, up to this, I will say, and hand it over to Sunanda to say something more.
Yes, I just have one question, Mani Aunty, and this, that you said that the Akhanda Bhajan they started and you had planned the rationing, you said, because it was British days, each family was given a ration amount of rice and other things. So whatever you wanted to pool together and make, that was for the prasad, right? Because in those days, even in my days of Akhanda Bhajan all the way 25 years, I remember we used to fast through Thursday and Friday till the last day. So it was for the prasad. I just wanted to say.
Yeah.
So you remember you told me that story about how Sundarama Aunty and Sheshgiri Rao Tata came back. Everything was planned.
Yes, everything was arranged, and bhajan was about to start on Thursday. Swami he came on Wednesday only and supervised all the decoration and preparation and everything, and went back, and he came on Thursday. And Thursday bhajan was started, and throughout night it all went nicely. At that time, people were coming from different parts of state and were pouring like anything. And
From Karnataka states, people
Karnataka
started to come from
yeah.
different cities.
Yes.
Oh.
And then our people were standing at the door and telling, no, this is private function. You are not allowed. It is our purely private function and all. Don't come and all. They were
They're scared of the prasadam.
Yes. And then those people started telling that, no, how can you say that? We are, Swami came our dreams in yesterday night and told that there is Akhand Bhajan is going on in Bangalore, come and see me there. And all he said, so people didn't listen at all. And lot of people were assembled there. And then my grandmother was, when grandmother and mother was nervous, how can we give prasadam to all this? Next day, Friday, we usually give prasadam to all the people, no? And they were all afraid. And then what happened, my grandmother was very bold and very close to Swami. Savitrama. He held his Swami's hand and took him to the kitchen. Swami, see, this is the amount of prasadam we have prepared. And you have to take care of this because we do not know, a lot of crowd is there outside and all. And then Swami said, no, it will be okay. No, Swami, you say Akshayam, like that. We asked him to say.
Akshayam means increase to infinity. The children here like to use the word infinity. What increasing?
Like that it happened. And Swami said 3 times Akshayam. And then my mother came and Swami, she was very nervous. Swami, only food grains is only this much. I do not know how we will manage. And Swami said, why Sundarama, why are you worried? You bring your empty bag to me. And this is my duty is to fill your bag and send. That is it. You go on, don't worry, he said. And next day, the prasadam, after Mangalarti, the prasadam started distributing. There was it was not emptying at all.
Oh, it kept on increasing. That's a problem.
And so many devotees had that prasadam, and still the prasadam was left over there. And then nowadays there are Narayan Seva and all this. That time it was not there. And they fed for all the poor people there. And all, even then the food was there.
Not
That's
finishing.
this thing of Akshayam.
Power of his word.
Yes.
And I like the point that you made, that he said, you come with your empty bag and I will fill it.
Yes.
Which symbolically means if you leave aside all your bad qualities
Yes.
and you come to me with a pure heart,
Yes.
I will fill it with love.
Yes.
His love was what, because of them, they all went without any ego.
Yes.
And say, Swami, please help us, and surrendered.
Yes.
He filled with love, he filled their hearts with love and created this.
Yes.
That's a beautiful story, Smadanti. I always like it because I also grew up listening. But I know that the Akhanda Bhajan, 25 years we did it as a family. I know that the first Akhanda Bhajan was in 1946, the last one was in 74. It's 28 years, I do know that. But we only say 25 because for 3 Akhanda Bhajans, Swami did not come.
Yes.
So we say 25. But I know that Janakama auntie and Mani auntie and all of you used to tell us that the 3rd Akhanda Bhajan was very unique.
Yes.
Mani auntie, can you tell us a little bit about it, and then you can both kind of chime in.
Yeah. So we in 1946, all of you know that we started the Akhanda Bhajan. During that bhajan, we all sang kriti, long songs, which we have learned from Parthi. So starting with Sri Ganesha, Shivani Kumara, Sai Ram, all those old songs which we used to sing. And Sundarama auntie, Shardama auntie, my mother, all of them, they were good singers. They came up with so many songs. Of course, Pundaradasa Kirtana, Kanakadasa Kirtana, everything, Tyagaraja, everything we did, and the 24 hours was done. But, you know, everybody cannot follow. Those who come to attend the bhajan, they cannot follow all the kritis. So Swami wanted to make it as a simple thing. And then during the 3rd Akhanda Bhajan, he said, why don't you sing only one nama? Sai Hare, Baba Hare. That's all. You sing 24 hours, only this Namasmarana. It was really a great challenge for us. How can we fill 24 hours with only Sai Hare, Baba Hare?
Quite a challenge.
It was before us. But luckily, Swami is the one who solves all these problems. And we sat together, my mother, Sundarama auntie, Shardama, Subhadrama auntie, everybody, we all came together. Sucharita, Sunanda, and Nalini, all of us, we were there to compose bhajans in different tunes. Sai Hare, Baba Hare.
Oh.
Different tunes, different ragas, different thalams, and whatnot. So we were able to fill in that 24. I mean, many Sai Hares were composed. I would like to sing 1 or 2, which were in the early years, what we sang. Sai Hare Satya, Sai Hare Hare, Sai Hare Satya, Sai Hare Hare, Sai Hare Satya, Sai Hare Hare, Baba Hare Sai, Baba Hare Hare, Baba Hare Sai, Baba Hare Hare, Baba Hare Ji, Baba Hare Ji, Baba Hare Ji, Baba Hare Hare, Sai Hare Satya, Sai Hare Hare. This was in the Raga Hamsadvani.
Did you sing it fast also? Did you sing it fast?
We had 3, in those days it was 3 speeds.
Oh.
1 slow, 1 medium, and the fast. So this is how we finished. And then, of course, these are a few Carnatic classical ragas based on which Sai Hares were sung. I would sing the another one where, you know, Raga Junjuti and Punagavarali is there. Sai Hare Satya, Sai Hare Hare Hare, Sai Hare Satya, Sai Hare, Sai Hare Satya Sai Hare Hare, Sai Hare, Satya Sai Hare Hare, Sai Hare, Satya Sai Hare, Sai Baba Hare, Jai Jai Sai Baba Hare, Sai Baba Hare, Jai Jai Sai Baba Hare, Sai Baba Hare, Jai Jai 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 Sai Baba Hare, Sai Baba Hare, Jai Jai Sai Baba Hare, Sai Baba Hare, Jai Jai Sai Baba Hare. It would end like that.
Thank you. That was beautiful. I think Sana Aunty also has a couple, right? Sana Aunty? I think each person, I remember when we were children, we used to say Jankama Aunty Sai Hare, Sundarama Aunty Sai Hare, like that, Jaidevi Aunty, Laltu Sushila, we used to say like that. So maybe Sana Aunty can give two more.
Sai Hare, Sai Hare, Sai Hare, Satya Sai Hare, Baba Hare, Baba Hare, Baba Hare, Sai Baba Hare, Sai Hare, Sai Hare.
And then one children's one also. So
Yes,
we used to sing that fun one.
Sai Hare, Sai Hare, Sai Hare, Sai. Sai Hare, Sai Hare, Sai Hare, Sai. Baba Hare, Baba Hare, Baba Hare, Sai. Baba Hare, Baba Hare, Baba Hare, Sai.
This was for the children, so that we could also participate. That was so beautiful. So these Akhanda bhajans have been so much a part of my life also, Sanana Aunty.
Yes.
I remember in, I know it's been an important one for you. We'll come to that in a minute. But I remember, Mani Aunty, I don't know if you were not there. We'll come to that part. But Janakama Aunty, I was saying, was the fun aunt. I remember a very funny incident that happened to me during the Akhanda Bhajan. Swami suddenly gave us a date for the Akhanda Bhajan. We had gone there on a Saturday. Sundaram Aunty, my parents and I, we had gone to Vrindavan. And Swami, we said, we want, Sundaram Aunty said, Swami, Akhanda Bhajan date. And Swami said, do it on Thursday. So this was Saturday, and within 3 days, he said, you do the Akhanda Bhajan. So then what happened was, we said, all right, we will do it. But there was terrible tension in the family because how to organize it in 3 days. Then we said, Swami, we have to find a hall. We have to find the flower person and everything. And Swami said, go to Gayana Samaja. You will get that hall. Padmanabh, you know that hall. My father said, that hall is booked for a long time, Swami. He said, no, you go there. So sure enough, when we went there, the hall somebody had just cancelled. We got that hall. Now the big problem by that time in the 60s, mid-60s, lot of people used to come. And we said, we have to find a cook to now cook the prasadam. And Swami said, your cook will come. Then my mother went to this cook called Chandrasekhar, who used to cook our prasadams. That fellow had gone off to Mangalore. And his wife said he is not going to come back till Wednesday night. So everybody was stressed out. And on Wednesday, we were getting the house ready for Swami's arrival. He would come and sleep there. And my mother said, that wife said, he'll come late in the night. Let's go there and see if he has come. His wife said, he's not going to come home. There is a place called Gandhi Bazaar in Bangalore. He usually stays there when he comes late. So my mother wanted to go and see if she can find him. Janakama Aunty, your mother said, I will come with you. How will you go alone? It's already 9 o'clock. You have to go to find this cook. I will come with you. So I also tagged along. And in that warehouse kind of a place, that's where they were all supposed to land up. We go there and slowly Janakama Aunty opens the door. All these men, about 9-10 men are all sleeping one next to the other. And they stood outside the door and Janakama Aunty said, Chandrasekhar, Yeli, get up. You have to come now to Thursday, Friday morning prasad, no Chandrasekhar was seen. Everybody was fast asleep. They were obviously very, very tired from their cooking in Mangalore wedding. Then your mother, she was such a feisty lady. I can remember at her age, in those days, actually older than many of these other ladies. She said, Kamlo, to my mother, you stand here, all are men, because she was younger. I will go inside and wake up these men. And it was pitch dark. We didn't know it was a big hall. We don't know where the switch is. So she had a flashlight, She turned on the flashlight, pulled the bedsheet of each fellow. Hey, Chandrasekhar, are you here? Hey, Chandrasekhar, are you here? Finally, some sixth guy was Chandrasekhar. She poked him and wake up, Swami is coming now. We need you to come and make prasadam. That groggy fellow got up and he came. But the sweet thing is, was next day he was also devoted to Swami. Had come for many Akhanda bhajans. He came, and I remember on Friday morning, Swami, just before coming to the Akhanda bhajan hall, he was coming, he used to come and do that Shirdi Baba Abhishekam, right? Just before leaving my parents' house, he came to the back of our house where all the prasadam was being cooked in the big kitchen, and went straight to the cook and he said, you are Chandrasekhar. You came from the wedding and came to make prasadam for so many devotees. And Swami materialized some vibhuti and gave him and blessed him, that Chandrasekhar, and went. I remember that incident. But I want to bring up another incident which is very close to my heart. Like I said, her husband Ramachandran was my chikappa, as we say in Kannada, my father's younger brother. My favorite uncle. He was uncle to everybody. Gave us most fun in our childhood days. And she was such a wonderful support. I want her to tell us, because about how she got married to him. To me, it was a very touching story. We all say, Tvameva Mata cha Pita Tvameva. Swami, you are our mother. You are our inner resider of our heart. You know our every thought, word, and action. So that is how he became her mother, the spiritual mother, and how he helped her. So that you want to tell us about that? She's feeling a little shy, but I'm forcing her a little bit.
We were in Mysore. I was in high school.
Yeah.
We were in Mysore. Once Swami came to Mysore and came to our house. Before that, I tell you, I was a student in high school. I had one English text. I had one lesson, Shantiniketa. That means home of peace. So I like that home of peace word. So I wrote it on that puja room door, home of peace.
Oh, so that lesson there, you like the title you put it.
Yes. And Swami came that day and he went straight to puja room. And there on the door, he saw that wordings and turned to me and said, oh, Papu Rasko Nava.
Papu was the nickname of my uncle. So he said to you, oh, you have written Papu on the door. Oh.
He said like that. I was shocked because I never told anybody that I am loving him. I was so much afraid. And he, Swami, opened
your heart, the door of your heart to everyone.
Then after 2 years, we came to Bangalore. And 59 Akhand Bhajan was done. And then usually next day we do Pad Puja on Fridays. Thursdays Akhand Bhajan, Fridays Pad Puja. At that Pad Puja time, Swami engagement done.
Oh, he got you engaged in the Akhand Bhajan. So that's very important to you.
And after in 1960, my marriage was done. And it was in Puttaparthi by Swami only. And he materialized Mangal Sutra for me. And that was a lucky thing I had.
So you got away because Swami did it. Otherwise, your parents would have taken you to task. Everything was smooth. Your love marriage was smoothened out by Swami. How sweet. But he is the mother, right? He knows our heart and he knows our mind.
Mata, Pita, Sarvamu Aure.
He is our mother, father, everything he is. So he took care of you in a very sweet way. Otherwise, you would have got into trouble.
Yes.
But Mani Auntie, I also grew up with another thing. We would wait because I know you were married, Sunanda Auntie got married, you got married later. your life was a little bit more challenging in the sense that your husband at that time was not a devotee. But yet, you used to compose all the bhajans for our Akhanda bhajans. We used to wait and say, Mani Auntie's bhajans are going to come, and we would all learn it. Can you, because from songs, those kritis or kirtans that you all used to sing, it's changed to the 4-line or 6-line namavalis of today. And you were a main composer. Swami used to sing a lot of your bhajans after his discourses. Can you please tell us a little bit about your life, how you got married, and how you were still able to compose bhajans?
Sairam, it's a long story. I will cut it short and then try to tell you.
Okay.
Before my marriage, my father took a promise from Mr. Bashim, saying that, you should not object to her worshipping Swami, because she has been a devotee right from at the age of 10. So he said, it's okay, whatever she wants to do, let her do. That was a promise given. Afterwards, what happened after the marriage took place, he was with great resentment. He would allow me to go to bhajans and do puja, worshipping the photograph of Swami, picture of Swami in my altar. It was not a very pleasant experience those days, because, when husband and wife, both the couple, if they worship Swami together and have faith in him, that's a different matter. But I was alone and I had to stand up for my belief, my faith. So that was a challenge to me. Anyway, some people come to Swami in a very, very easy way, just like Sunanda, Papu, Dr. Ramachandran, or Chandrasekhar, or Sucharita. All, as soon as they got married, all the sons-in-law came to Swami's fold. But my husband did not come. That was worrying me. So once during the marriage of Sunanda, I had gone to Parthi, and both the couples, newly wed couples, were doing Pada Puja on that day. I was standing near Swami's chair. Swami looked at me and I was crying. Then, why are you crying? Swami, all these my sisters, their husbands came to me as soon as they got married. Why are you not calling my husband to your feet, Swami? So he said, don't worry, I will do it. I will do up to a point when he will come to me and he will ask me to name the child. So that is, he predicted that he is going to name my second child, because already my son was born and he was 3 years old in Sunanda's marriage. So what happened afterwards, we went to so many, he had postings at different places, especially the Aligarh in North India. It was not a very, very clean place at those times. I am talking about 1960s, 63. So when one day he came back from office with a very heavy headache, and the following day, all over his body, red patches were seen, and slowly they got, the pus and the blood started filling up. It was a smallpox actually. Those days, unheard of. I mean, a 35-year-old man getting smallpox was a very dangerous thing also. So 3 days passed, 4 days passed, and it is every day the pain and the growing. He could not bear that pain at all. And he was, during nights, he would never sleep. And I had to put him to sleep by singing Devi bhajans all the time. And on the 4th day, when it became really serious, it was about 9 o'clock or 9:30, it must be. My father-in-law said, Amma, for the last 3 days, you have not slept. Go and sleep. So I went into the room, and as about 10-15 minutes later on, he called out, shouted at me, Amma, Mariamma, please come. When I went there, my husband was in a delirium. He was talking all irrelevant things. And he was saying that he was traveling in a tram in Calcutta and all this, which was not at all relevant to the times. So I did not know anything to do. I put vibhuti on his forehead and kept a robe given by Swami to my mother. And my mother had given it to me as a raksha, as a protection. So I kept that robe under his pillow and then started writing a letter to Swami. Swami, this is not fair. I have 2 small children. What am I going to do? please protect him, please save him. That's only four sentences I must have done. Immediately, my husband got a real, he became bright, and he opened his eyes and started talking sensibly, and then said, you please put me onto other bed. I don't want to sleep here. So I arranged another bed, and that was the point of recovery. And then he became all right. And then started little by little, oh, there is some power above all of us, which is protecting us. We have to have faith in that power. He came to that point and slowly started believing in Swami also. So that was a hard way, very hard way how he came to Swami. So that was the time. And as usual, as you said, nothing could stop me. I was under Swami's fold, and then for Akhanda bhajans, new bhajans were composed, and Swami used to give me lots of bhajans. During especially the 25th Akhanda bhajan was a real memorable event for all of us, because Swami declared in that bhajan, saying that the light which you have lighted, the lamp which you have lighted now, the effulgence and the brilliance should spread all over the world. Now hereafter, it will be a global Akhanda bhajan, not your family Akhanda bhajan. That's he said like that. And then the Akhanda bhajans were held. For the 25 years, we just really, and during, as I told you, that many of the bhajans which were composed at that day, for that year, were Sunanda. She was the one who said, Swami has to listen to all these bhajans, Mani. We will tie him to a chair and then make him listen to all the bhajans. So as she said that, the following day for Pada Puja, we all assembled in Dr. Padmanabhan's place, and we made him, Swami came there, and he wanted to listen to all the bhajans which we sang the previous day. So he went on listening. All the, Ranganatha, Sri Jagannatha, Kasturi Ranga, Shankari Parameshwari, and Kshirabdishayana, and many songs which were composed at that time. And then he wanted to listen to everyone. And one particular song which we were singing in the evening was Radha Vallabha Radha Pyar. That was a bhajan which Swami so much enjoyed, it seems. We were inside the bhajan hall. Sucharita and others were all outside. When they saw Swami, the crowd, we were unable to manage that crowd. So Swami, what he did was, he sat on the bonnet of a car, it seems. He was giving the darshan to everybody and listening to this Radha Vallabha Radha Pyare until swaying to this tune. That must have been a very, very wonderful scene to watch. But we were inside, we were singing, and Sucharita was saying to us, saying that, go on singing that song. I would like to sing that bhajan.
Please give a few samples of the other bhajans too, a few of them. We have about another 5-7 minutes, so that will be good.
Okay.
Yes.
So I can name the songs, the bhajans which were composed at that time. Of course, earlier, I did not have that kind of proficiency to write bhajans and then lyrics and then tune them. Some of them I followed. I looked at the book. I used to look at the books and the lyrics. And as soon as I saw the lyrics, the tune would come to me and Swami would give me the tune. For example, Govindeti sada snanam, Govindeti sada japam, Govindeti sada dhyanam, sada Govinda kirtanam, Chanda kirana kulamandana ram, Srimad Dasharatha Nandana Ram, Kausalya Sukhavardhana Ram, Vishwamitra Priyadhana Ram. So that, as soon as I see the lyrics, I would come to me. Swami's favorite one. Hara Shiva Shankara Shashanka Shekara Hara Bam 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 Bola. Those are all lyrics which I just tuned them.
Okay.
And Some of these new bhajans which lyrics were different. So I would sing one or two of them. Aganita Leela Ati Dayala Aganita Leela Ati Dayala Ghanananda Bala Murali Lola Ghanananda Bala Murali Lola Mere Giridhar He Gopala He Nandalala Gopabala He Nandalala Gopabala Mere Giridhar He Gopala Gopala. It's fun.
Radha Vallabha.
Keshava Madhava Krishna Murare 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 Adhama Udharana Nama Tumhare Radha Vallabha Radha Pyare Bhakta Janon ke Nanda Dulare Bhakta Janon ke Nanda Dulare.
It was beautiful, Mani Aunty. Thank you so much. Now, I cannot leave you before you tell us how you came up with Paramam Pavitram, how Swami inspired you and made you compose that. And we can start moving towards the end of our program, but I really want you to share that with our audience, please.
You know, during Akhand Bhajans, as I told you,
yes,
many new bhajans were composed at that time. In 1958 or 58, it must be. The Akhand Bhajan took place in Vasvi Dharmashala. So as usual, before the bhajans, we used to rehearse lots of new compositions. We used to gather together at Sudrama Auntie's place. All of us would be there. And then we would rehearse the song, rehearse the new compositions. So what happened was, one day, Sucharita, Sunada's sister, elder sister, my sister too, she came. She came to my place and then, Mani, now this time, all the new bhajans have come out so well. Why not you compose a bhajan on Bhagavad Gita? And she went away. And that was working in my mind. And it came out, these 4 lines came. Gita Sarame Bhagavan Sai Namamo Gita Tattvame Sai Bodha Marmamo Gita Paname Maduram Parama Pavanam Gita Dhyaname Sakala Janma Sarthakam. These 4 lines came to me, and then it was set to Hamsadvani Raga, and then we sang. We rehearsed it. Afterwards, what happened? The following Thursday, she came. Mani, why don't you compose a Namavali on Vibhuti? Baba Vibhuti. That she expressed, Swami inspires everyone. That is the most important thing. The thought, a stray thought, just a thought came to her saying that there should be a Namavali on Vibhuti. So she came to me. She inspires, and Swami inspires me too to compose that. So it was about 11 o'clock in the morning. My husband had gone to his office and my child was sleeping. And I was washing clothes, not within the washing machine. We did not have washing machines then. We used to, have a small stone. Then on the stone piece, we would beat our cloth and then wash it like that. So I was doing that. And these 4 lines came. Paramam pavitram Baba vibhutim Paramam pavitram Baba vibhutim Paramam vichitram Leela vibhutim Paramarthamishtartha Moksha pradatam Baba vibhutim idamashrayabi. Along with the raga, along with the proper tune and the thala, it came to me. And then I wrote it down. The following rehearsal day, we all learned it. And we sang it as a Namavali during Akhand Bhajan. The following day, when the Path Puja was taking place, we repeated as usual all the songs which we had learned. And we sang this Paramam Pavitram also. Swami heard it very intently. And then, he expressed this way. Meeru anta ememo Namavalil chestaramma. He said like that.
You make Namavalis on everything.
Different kinds of Namavalis you sing, ma. He said like that, and then that was that. And this Kasturi Garu was also there, it seems. So Kasturi Garu met Sucharita and he told her, Amma, this is like a Vibhuti mantra. Swami liked it very much, he said, it seems. And then that was all forgotten. Afterwards, I went away to Aligarh. When in one of the Navaratri festivals, Swami directed a play of Shirdi Sai Baba, enacted by all his students from the university. So one of the students, as a leper, he comes to Shirdi Baba. And Shirdi Baba asks him to cure his disease. So Baba gives him the vibhuti and asks him to smear it all over his body and says this, Paramam Pavitram Baba Vibhuti. That way how aptly Swami used that Namavali in such a way that it was heard by all who were in the audience, especially Sunanda, Sucharita, all these were sitting in the audience. And they were so thrilled to listen to, and Sucharita wrote to me in Aligarh, Mani, this Paramam Pavitram has been accepted by Swami so well and so appropriately he used it for the play. That's it. After 1965, when the Sai organizations were formed, I think the format was given to everybody, to all the Sai centers, in which Ganesh Bhajan must be sung first, and the Guru, and then Devi. And then at the end of the Bhajan, Vibhuti should be distributed. And no more prasadam, only Vibhuti as prasadam to all the devotees, and singing this Paramam Pavitram Baba Vibhuti. And I have been, I think, Janma ka punya bolte hai na. So that is how many births, merits I must have accumulated. And Swami chose me as an instrument to express his own glory. And now, I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's all right.
Today it is being sung all over the world. It is his grace.
Yes.
Saira.
Thank you, Mani Auntie. So that was in the 25th Akhanda Bhajan, when we were all a little heavy-hearted, that from the family function, it became a global function. We enjoyed Swami's proximity for 25 years, where he used to come and stay in our home for 3 days and be with us and everything. And I know that Sunanda auntie was also saying that after the 25th Akhanda Bhajan was over, I really want to share this, not so much because it was for our family, but this is how the Lord responds to his devotees. He told Bhagavantam after the 25th Akhanda Bhajan was over, he said, you know, Bhagavantam, these devotees of mine who came to me in those early 40s and have stayed on so far, sometimes I get a doubt, are they God and I am a devotee? Or I am a devotee and they are God? This is what he told Bhagavantam, and Sri Bhagavantam came and told us. And rather than we felt a certain pride, but not that of ego, I hope, that Swami had accepted us as his devotee, because he always, in every discourse, he says, Vedukuchunnanu, Vedukuchunnanu, Nija Bhaktuni ne Vedukuchunnanu. I'm searching for a true devotee. So that is how our Akhanda Bhajans ended. And I would like to share a few photographs of that time. And after that, we are coming towards the end of our program, and I have my favorite thing that I want Sunanda auntie to share also. So I would like Ramya, if she doesn't mind, to please share the slides of the Akhanda Bhajan.
Sure. You can see?
Yes. Oh, sorry. This is Jayadevi actually who got the idea of doing the Akhanda Bhajan after 365 days of bhajans in each family. And the person I remember making the 365 strands representing each day of the year. This is Jayadevi. She was also my father's cousin too. That is Sri Ananda Sagar, her husband. And we will move a little far. So these are all the families. The first one being Sundarama auntie and her husband. Second one being Sunanda auntie's parents. The second picture is Janakama auntie, Mani auntie's parents. The third picture, and the lady in the blue saree, are Sri Sheshagiri Rao's son and daughter-in-law. Laltu and Shishla are aunts of Sunanda auntie, Jayadevi, Anand Sagar, my parents, and my uncle there. These were the first families that started to do the Akhanda Bhajans by rotation, the weekly Bhajans by rotation, which ended in the first Akhanda Bhajan in 1946.
Geeta, will you also just mention the Naga Pratishta?
You are very correct. The fourth picture, Lalita and Sushila, the two ladies standing there next to Swami, all of you would have seen the banyan tree at the Ganesha gate in Prashanti Nilayam. Under that banyan tree, you would have also seen small, the idols of Subramanya Swami in the form of a snake, what we call as Nagappa in the southern part of India, worshipped, Subramanya Swami worshipped in the form of a snake. These couples, these ladies with their husbands, were the people who did the actual, the putting up of those idols, and Swami actually consecrated those idols in Prashanti Nilayam. They are those two people. So when you go next time to Prashanti Nilayam, when you go around the banyan tree, think of these wonderful people who actually did the Pratishtapana, of putting those there right opposite to the Ganesha. Thank you, Ramya. I had forgotten about that. And then this is Swami entering our Akhanda Bhajana. You can see all the ladies with the Haldi Kumkum plate, and Purna Kumbham being held by Sundarama auntie. Mani auntie's mother, Janakama auntie, is there. Mrs. Anand Sagar, that is Jayadevi auntie, is there. All of the family members, and my mother behind Swami. They're all welcoming Swami into the hall for the Akhanda Bhajan. This is so you can see Swami's hand on the bust of Shirdi Baba. He started to do the Shirdi Sai Baba Abhishekam at the Akhanda Bhajans first, I believe. After that, it was then done in the other festivals in Prashanti Nilayam and in the Pathamandiram. But first, it was in the Akhanda Bhajan, and you can see Swami getting the statue, the idol of Shirdi Baba, Anand Sagar there getting ready, my father beside him. And you can see young Prasad, Sundarama Auntie's son that I was mentioning before. In the lower picture, you will see after the Abhisheka, my father and Anand Sagar uncle clearing up everything in the Akhanda Bhajan. You can see Swami lighting the lamp, the Akhanda Jyoti, which Mani Auntie mentioned that later Swami said in the last Akhanda Bhajan of our family in 1974, that this lamp that I have lit and your family has lit will spread all over the world as the Namasmarana, the effulgent light of Namasmarana. That is the Venkatappa Naidu, who used to do the flower arrangement that Mani Auntie mentioned in the beginning of the Akhanda Bhajan. He was one of the ardent Swami devotees. And within 24 hours, he used to create these various backgrounds for Swami's chair. Swami used to sometimes give very little time. And you can see that chair, it was not the kind of chairs that we have now, we offer to Swami. This is actually a sofa from my father's house, which Swami liked very much. Whichever chair we put, he would always say that he wanted to sit in this particular chair. It was a green colored sofa. I remember Swami always sat on that, and that is the background for that chair. And so Swami used to be very comfortable because he used to sit for many, many hours in the bhajans. And this is the last day that we used to do the Akhanda Bhajan from Thursday through Friday. And on Friday, all the elders used to do Pada Puja. In this particular Akhanda Bhajan, Swami gave the great good fortune for all the children to do the Pada Puja. If you look closely, you will see the flowers and everything at Swami's feet. And he's blessing all the children. At that time, Mani Auntie's children are there. I am there. You can see his hand over my head. My Sucharita's daughter, Vidyulata, all of us are there, and Sundarama Auntie and my mother in the background. And Swami's blessing. And then he took a group picture of all of us kids after the Pada Puja in my father's living room. That's my father's living room. I'm standing next to Swami. You will see right behind me, the tall girl is actually Mani Auntie's other brother's daughter. So we are all there. Vidyulata, Sucharita's daughter, is Swami is putting his left arm over her, and the right arm is over Mani Auntie's son. So it was a beautiful family picture. And so we come to the lifetime devotion of these people. Sundarama Auntie's life too, like all our lives, came to an end, but what a productive life, having known the Lord. She was towards the end of her life. I want to share the words that Swami told her with our audience, because we are all living in this transitory world. And Sunanda Auntie will first say what blessing he gave Sundarama Auntie, and then we will come to the end of our program. What did he say, Sunanda Auntie? Do you remember when you took him? She was quite aged. She was almost in her late 80s, maybe.
Yes, she was 82, 83, like that. She was very weak, and vision was not clear, and he was not hearing properly. All came down. And then we wanted to take her to Swami once. Swami was in Vrindavan, and my sister asked Swami to give permission to bring my mother. And he said, yeah, you bring her, I will see, he said. And we took her to Vrindavan and made her sit in the front line on the chair. And she was not able to see properly. And Swami, I knew my sister was sitting beside my mother. And Swami came there. And why, Sundama, what's the news? Why are you here? What is happening? She asked. And no, Swami, I am not able to see or able to hear. What is there in this world? Telugu చెప్పండి. చూసిందంతా చూసినావు, చేసిందంతా చేసినావు, వినిందంతా వినినావు, ఇంకేముంది ఈ ప్రపంచంలో, నన్నే చూస్తా ఉండు, నా దగ్గర వచ్చేయి.
So I'll translate that. And these are beautiful words for all of us. Many of our family members have gone during COVID and everything. But these are the words of strength that Swami gave these Sundarama Auntie, who had served him all our life. And she said, I cannot see you. So, or hear you, Swami. So he said, you have seen everything in this world. What is there more to see? You have heard everything in this world. What is there more to hear? All you need to do is think of me, visualize me, and do my Namasmarana, and come to me very quickly. These were his words of blessing to her.
After some months,
And after 2 months or so, a couple of months later, she emerged in his lotus feet, Sundarama auntie did. So that was the life of many of these people that I showed in the picture. Many of them are not here, but till their last breath, they did Sai Namasmarana. And Swami, that Namasmarana words are so powerful that he accepted them as devotees. So that was some of the life of the earlier devotees. I'm only talking about my family members because I know them, but there were many such who came in later years as well, who cannot be mentioned all. So one of the things that I want to finish with is, we have come to the end of our program. I'm just going to take 4 minutes. I remember that as a child, whenever we left Prashanti Nilayam, we used to wait for Swami's permission. Swami used to give us all Pada Namaskaram and we used to leave from the interview room. And at that time, we used to say a goodbye song. It's a beautiful song that was composed by Sundarama auntie. I will request my aunt and she will explain how that song came about. She will sing that song and I will very briefly give a meaning, and after that we will end.
Mother used to compose songs, I told you, and this song particularly when she was in the night, in her dream, she composed this song. The next day she wanted to leave Parthi and come back to Bangalore. Before that, she composed this song. And morning when Swami came and my grandmother asked her to sing that song, and she sang in front of Swami. This is the song. Kaliyugamuna butti mahimala chupi Swamini vidachi pojala Yennalundina vidanadutake Badaganunnade Saisha Maya samsara bandhanamulo trosiye Dariyulekane chesitiva Adiye mukti Yanuchumire chapi Pomanuchunnare Partisha Koi vachada baba koi ramanuchu Ashirvadinchi Pompandi Twaralo marala Bhakti to partiki Pilapinche baramu Mede Swami Rapinche baramu Mede Swami.
So the meaning of the song is beautiful. Oh Swami, who is born in this Kali Yuga, to take us, as auntie said, from down here to ascend to your level. You have come for us. You have created this Maya Samsara, this illusory world for us to live in. You tell us that the world is illusory, but yet you tell us to go back to our husbands and our families, live in that illusory world, but come out of it like a lotus comes out of the pond. So from this illusory world, please bring us back to you. Very quickly, without your grace, we cannot come to Puttaparthi. So with heavy hearts we are going, and I hope you will take us out of this illusory world and bring us back to your lotus feet as soon as you can. So with these words, we used to say goodbye to Swami, and I know many times even Swami used to have tears when we used to leave, and we used to leave in this way, Puttaparthi, but not wanting to leave on a sad note. I do want to say that we are coming close to our Arati time. Mani auntie told me that in the Pata Mandiram, this was not the Om Jai Jagadisha Hare they used to sing. So, having said that, I think Ramya had a picture of these old devotees and an Arati picture. Mani auntie will just give 2 lines of the old Arati song. And with that, I will pass it on to Mani auntie, and then I'll come back for some final.
Do you want me to show this?
Yes, live. Yes, please do, Ramya. Yes, that is Sharda auntie, Sundarama auntie's sister, my father and Sharda auntie. So these were the words he told her just a couple of months before she passed away. All 3 of them are no more, but tried to lead their life as Swami would expect them to lead it. These are all the elders, many of them not here anymore, but who tried to lead a life of devotion to Swami with my grandfather Sheshgiri Tata Sudra Auntie's grandfather Sheshgiri Rao in the middle with Swami at his feet. Thank you, Ramya. Mani.
Okay. Even the Aarti songs, have undergone a lot of change. In the beginning, in the Patha Mandiram, what we used to sing were Jaya He Sri Sai Natha and then followed by Pavana Purusha. Now the present Om Jai Jagadish Hare came later on. Just I wanted to trace the history of it. The first song, Jaya He Sri Sai Natha, Jaya Partisha, Sharanuni Kide, Jaya He Sri Sai Natha, Jaya Partisha, Sharanuni Kide, Sharanuni Kide, Sharanuni Kide. So this was the first song in Patha Mandiram. Swami used to do the Aarti to the idols of Shirdi Baba and Parti Baba. So later on, another devotee came to Patha Mandiram and she introduced this Kannada song, Pavana Purusha Saisha. For a long time, we used to sing this for Aarti. Pavana Purusha Saisha, Sharanara Sarvesha, Pavana Purusha Saisha, Sharanara Sarvesha, Soumya Rupa Satya Baba, Kavudai Kaimugive, Pavana Purusha Saisha, Sharanara Sarvesha. When B.V. Raman and Lakshman came to Prashanti Nilayam, they introduced this Om Jai Jagadish Hare. All of us, we know that song. Sairam.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mani Auntie. So, we have gone through the whole growth. We have talked a lot about our family members, but the family members and Swami almost grew together from the 1943. Swami was a young lad of 17. And they all grew together almost, but knowing that he is Bhagwan and they were the Bhaktas. So with these words, I really want to thank the last picture, by the way, were the two brothers, Sheshgiri Rao and Sita Ramaya doing Aarti to Swami. I do want to thank Mani Auntie for joining us for this conversation and reminiscing of the old days and also giving me the time of my life while we were talking and discussing what to say. Sunanda Auntie, who came down all the way from her son's house to be with me so that we could have this together. I really thank both of you. And more than anything, thank Swami for giving the opportunity to go down memory lane and relive those occasions again. And I hope that all of us will be able to ascend, as Mani Auntie said, to his level. As Swami says, you and I are one. He told the devotees. I hope we will all be able to reach that. Yes, Mani Auntie.
I would like to say a few words before we close. Sure. Okay. I am very grateful to Swami for having given this opportunity to talk and share all our experiences, especially our own family members of all the three of us all together, and the extended family members are watching us. Really, it's a joy which I enjoyed, and I'm grateful to Swami. And I thank from the bottom of my heart the Bethesda Center for Ramya, who worked very hard for this event to take place, and our team who have really helped us to do this. Sairam to everybody. Sairam.
Thank you. Thanks to everybody, Ramya and the team, to the zonal team also for having put this up for everybody to enjoy Swami's glory. Thank you so much.
Thank you all given the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Sairam.
Sairam everyone. My humble pranams at the lotus feet of our dearest Swami. After such a wonderful couple of hours that we have spent, I don't think my words can do justice to the heartfelt, wonderful journey that we have been through. I'll do my best. So I heard that Swami said Bhagavatam Vinte Bhagavatar. So this is verily Bhagavatam that we have heard for the last couple of hours. And thank you, if I can venture to say, that Bengaluru Amailu for bringing all that to us. You are so fortunate, you are so blessed that you are in the physical presence of our dearest Lord from the very initial days. And now we are blessed, we are fortunate to have this opportunity to listen to you all and soak in the divine bliss. Thank you so much. And thank you for sharing your precious family pictures. Thank you for sharing your intimate moments with Swami. And some of the things like I wrote down, Uravakonda Lona, Udyana Vanamulona, Raki Banda Paina. What a heart-warming compositions. Right? So, and all the other miracles at the Kalpa Vruksha, what can we learn from all this? So Gita started saying, how can you believe a 17-year-old? Do we need anything else? This is it, right? We don't need anything else. Now, we hope that all of us as devotees of Swami can learn a little bit from the immense devotion that all of you have shown. It comes through in your words, it comes through in your feelings, and it comes through your life. So we hope that we can take a little bit of that and really follow Swami's teachings. Thank you so much. Sai Ram.
Thank you. Bye.
ॐ तत्सत् श्रीनारायणतु पुरुषोत्तम गुरुतुं सिद्धबुद्धतुं सन्त विनायक सविता पावकतुं सविता पावकतुं ब्रह्ममस्ततु यवशक्तितु येषु पिता प्रभुतुं रुद्रविष्णुतुं रामकृष्णतुं रहीमतावतुं रहीमतावतुं वासुदेवतो विश्वरूपतु चिदानन्दहरितुं अद्वितीयतुं अकालनिर्भय आत्मलिङ्ग शिवतुं परमात्मलिङ्ग शिवतुं परमात्मलिङ्ग शिवतुं असतो मा सर्गमया तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमया ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात् ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात् ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्।